everybody, this is N.M.P.D here, and today
I actually will twerk tonight.
Today I'm going to be talking about the infamous cupcake gravemind himself, EDP, also known as erectional dysfunctional. And if those who still aren't somehow informed on who this EDP guy is, or if you really do live under a rock and have no idea to begin with, I might as well explain. But if you've already known what he is known for, then there's going to be timestamps onto the video, so that way if you want to skip it, you can skip it. But if you want to stick around and, you know, have a good reminder of who he is again, then feel free to watch the full thing. So EDP was once known as a YouTuber with about close to 3 million subscribers. He'd been doing this for around a decade, and he was mostly loved. A lot of people liked his content. Until one day in 2021, EDP tried to meet up who he thought was a cupcake girl, but turns out luckily it was a decoy, and it was a poorly done sting operation, unfortunately by a racist goblin in CC unit. They were questioning him, and then this is where the famous line comes in.
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
And then after that, the rest is history. After they got done questioning him, they planned on calling the cops right in front of his own eyes, and of course, you know what EDP did? He did his good old signature move when it comes to situations like getting caught or confronted. Yeah, that's right. He walked away to his car and basically fled the scene. And unfortunately, law enforcement could not do a damn thing about it because the fucking people behind the sting operation didn't get law enforcement at all. Not even a little bit. They only got it when they were finally through questioning EDP. That's why and how he got away with it. Though there is a bit of a bright side to this, he got his channel and most of his media shut down. But unfortunately, time goes by later, he ended up making his own website, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna be deleted anytime soon. And he's slowly coming back through all the other social media sites as well. Can't really say that I'm surprised, like, it's literally all he has. That's all he can do. That's all he's known for. And this year, he ended up getting caught, not in another sting operation, let me make this clear. He got caught sending messages to an actual minor this time, which is obviously not good. And at some point, Skeeter Gene ended up releasing the video of them confronting EDP. Let me make this clear again, this is not a sting operation, this is just them confronting and fucking with EDP. It's not a sting operation. And I still kinda can't get over the fact that Gideon ended up wearing a cupcake outfit in front of EDP's eyes. And I gotta say personally, the video itself was disappointing, and Skeeter Gene had the audacity to put it behind a paywall, but then later on released it for free. That too was just not something that I approve of. Though I like Skeeter Gene's content, that still needs to be called out for a fact. They didn't really get much info off of EDP, which is to be kind of expected anyway. I mean, it's not like you can force him to have a conversation with you. It's not like he's being held up or anything like that. You think he's just gonna fall for it like the first time? And I've also heard that Gideon ended up partially screwing up the investigation by making the minor talk to EDP when they ended up confronting him. At this point, you should have just blocked him. And now Gideon is a so-called Christian, which I don't know, maybe he is serious. I don't know. So long if he's not one of those Christians that blame video games and anime for literally anything, then power to him, I guess. Then EDP made a couple of videos about Gideon just basically shitting on him, which EDP shouldn't have any right to call anybody out for what he has done. Now EDP is just very, very hated. He's definitely one of the most hated people on the internet. And that's about it for this timeline right now for the EDP saga. Now for today's EDP topic that I'm going to be talking about is something that I haven't known for a few months ago. That EDP ended up actually having a girlfriend. Some of you might be shocked. I didn't believe it either until I saw an archived video of EDP burning a photo of him and his girlfriend, well, ex-girlfriend to say. And I gotta say, dude, you could have just put it in the fucking trash. There was no need to burn something like that. I can understand you want to burn some shit because you want to make sure that it's permanently erased from existence, but when it comes to, like, relationships, man, just throw it in the trash. It saves more lighter fuel, and it's just not really all worth it in the end. I obviously blurred the ex-girlfriend's face because I don't want her featured. I don't think that's something that she wants to be known for either, which I can totally understand that. And there was also a documentary video of the Eagles, which I think that's what it is, with EDP confirming that he finally got a girlfriend.
I have a girlfriend.
Which, I don't know how. I guess she didn't look into this guy further, because, oh man, she had no idea what she was about to get herself into, let me tell ya. So after I found out for a fact that EDP had a girlfriend, I looked into it further to see if she came out and told her side of the story, and lo and behold, she ended up doing so. Unfortunately, though, she got interviewed by that racist scumbag that I do not want to mention at all. I do not want to give him that chance on this channel. I forbid it. You're only going to be hearing audio of the interview because the video itself is basically a nothing burger. There's just nothing to really show for. So without further ado,
let's get this show on the road!
Yeah, but anyway, so you were Brian's... Well, I guess you were Brian's girlfriend at one point.
Yeah, we dated for 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
It is the longest relationship he's had.
Really?
I was his first girlfriend.
well, there you have it. It's been confirmed that this is EDP's first and last girlfriend. No chance is he ever gonna get a date again. And they only lasted for 5 months. I mean, I'm not too keen on the whole dating thing, so I'll let you be the judge if that's really like a serious relationship or not.
Were you the girlfriend that he like kind of... Because I remember this probably from high school, where he had you like on his videos, but you weren't on his videos. You were like to the side, just in the background and shit.
That was me.
Oh.
He'd do like Q&As and stuff, and I'd sit next to him and talk, but I wouldn't let him show me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's. I remember that.
Because I'm a teacher, and I was always worried that, like, as a teacher, my reputation in the community dictates whether or not they trust me around children.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want the parents of my students to see his videos and know I was connected and question whether or not they trusted me with their children.
Right.
No wonder why she broke up with him. Holy shit. Which is understandable. You know, this is pretty alarming for her career. And knowing that he said a lot of abhorrent and done some disgusting things, like way before he tried to get a cupcake and go back home, her career was on the line over EDP's content, which is absolutely understandable if she needs to leave him for that.
When I started dating him, I didn't even know he had YouTube.
So how did you originally meet the guy?
We met online on a dating site.
Was he like on Tinder, or like what was it?
I want to say it was Bumble.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we kind of just both liked each other. I liked to smile. And we started talking. We both go to the same gym. We were both trying to lose weight. It seemed like we had a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we went out on a couple dates, and he asked me to be his girlfriend. And it wasn't probably till like a month and a half, 2 months into the relationship that I even realized he had a YouTube channel. Like at one point he made a comment of, "Have you seen my YouTube channel yet?" And I kind of laughed it off because everybody has a YouTube channel and thinks they're a YouTuber.
Uh-huh.
And I never looked into it. So I really had no clue the stuff he was posting when I started dating him.
And that right there is a big mistake, let me tell you.
What was your initial reaction when you found out about his YouTube channel?
It was mixed reactions. Like, he's a funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't like that with me at all in person.
Right.
So I can easily see that he's one way on YouTube and a different way in person. Like, that was something I caught right away, and I get that. And that's one of the things he always bashed me for afterwards. She doesn't understand. But that was like initial reaction right there. But then it was the, holy crap, if I'm connected to this, how does that affect my career?
Right.
And this interview confirms way more than before. I mean, we all already know this when he got caught, that he isn't who he is on camera. And she definitely put the icing on the cake for that one.
Jeez.
But then my very next thought was, I don't want to be someone who's so shallow that I break up with him just because I don't like his YouTube channel. So I need to give this some effort and see where it goes.
So he wasn't really like keeping it real with them MFers, because it was just a totally different personality on camera than off camera.
Yeah, that was kind of a hard thing for me because everybody's like, he's the realest guy I ever know, blah, blah, blah. And he was totally different in person.
So,
and then he talks about, like, this is how I am, this is the way I am everywhere, blah, blah, blah. And then in talking to me, or the video that he posted about me after we broke up, he's like, you have to realize there's a difference between a YouTube personality and me in real life. Well, which one are you?
That is a good question, because, I mean, obviously he isn't who he is on camera. Like, we've said this before. It's been confirmed a lot of times. How are people supposed to know who you really are behind the scenes? Like, people are judging you based on who you are on camera. Like, it doesn't work out like that. It's either one or the other. Like, Jesus. Does he have a split personality or something? Like, dude, I don't even know.
like, how was it at first, and when did it start going wrong?
Honestly, of all the people I've dated, he probably treated me the best. I'm not gonna lie.
He treated you the best.
But, yeah, he treated me well. He was nice to me, he was caring, he treated me well, we spent time together.
Well, goddamn. It's confirmed now that EDP's a nice guy. He's one of those Mr. Nice Guys. You know what they say, the nice guys finish last. Literally. In his case, he finished last.
Like, it was just eventually, it really came down to the direction his life was going and the direction my life was going were not going the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And my career was going to be at jeopardy if this went any farther. And I could not see my future with him. I
Right.
had no hard feelings towards him. Like, I just could not see this as my future. And I knew if I went on any longer like that, that it would hurt both of us more. So I stopped it right there.
Well, there's a lot to unpack here. It's totally understand to leave him over your job being on the line. Like, given how he is on camera, he really doesn't know that there's gonna be a consequence to literally putting yourself out there, admitting disgusting things. And that right there is one of those downsides. I'm telling you, it's not a joke.
But I had absolutely nothing bad to say about him till after we broke up.
Yeah, because after we broke up, you showed me that video of him, like, you know what I mean. She's a, blah blah, her parents or this that. So why do you think he said all those things?
Because he was hurting, and he didn't know how else to deal with it. Like, I broke his heart. I know I did, and it breaks my heart to know that. But it would have been worse if I kept it going longer. I don't understand some of that. Like, my parents are the most judgmental people he has ever met. But he kept asking to come over to my house. He wanted to be at my sister's wedding. Why, like, if my family's the most judgmental people he's ever met, why did he ask to come over? Why did he want to be at my sister's wedding? I don't understand that.
Well, looks like we found out who actually hurt him. His first and last girlfriend. And good God, EDP. The age gap between her and him is that she is 40, well, close to 40 at the time, and he was in his late 20s. So that really goes to show his poor decision making on who he chooses for dates. And as for her being 40 years old, and the way that she basically talked about her parents and him coming over and everything, so I guess it also confirms that she still lives with her parents at the age of 40, which I can understand that times are tough right now, and it's hard to get your own place these days. But I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't want to get in too deep with that.
Honestly, when that whole video came out where he just spent, it's a little over 18 minutes bashing me and my family. We had been broken up for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
We had only dated for 5. And so we'd been broken up for 4 months, and at that point, I knew he was in pain. And it wasn't worth it. And nobody knew who I was, so it wasn't a big deal to me. Like, it hurt to see. And the people around me that knew me and knew him were really, really upset. And I just had to calm them all down and say it really wasn't worth it. But a lot of what he says contradicts himself. A lot of what he says, he twists and turns to make it look like I'm a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
It was shocking, because that wasn't the character of the guy I knew.
Wow. So not only does EDP ended up blasting her out there and showing her face and everything, but he ends up doing some little white lies to her. God damn, dude. Just couldn't move on, just couldn't talk about it. Like, oh man. What a sad, sad little man. Clearly cannot handle it very well.
Yeah, I guess I could kind of see that he got kind of selfish. Like, you know, it was a combination of people, you know, doing the texting and the calling with him. Obviously, I didn't do the calling. I did a little bit of the texting, but, you know, I was logged into the account that we were texting him on. And, you know, what people don't know is he blocked us 7 times. He blocked us 7 times. And, you know, he's just very, like you said, contradicting. Like, one day he blocks us. The next day he unblocks us and wants... Like, he's just all over the place with his emotions.
God, Jesus, what a weirdo. He ends up blocking him a few good times. Like, god damn. At that point, that to me is just a red flag. Just blocking me a few times, just, like, if that's how you're gonna do it to me, like, don't bother trying to reach out to me, or I'm gonna block you for a change, because you're just wasting my goddamn time. You need to seriously go somewhere to fix that shit up. Alright, I'm not your therapist.
One day he sends us a video of him, you know, doing, you know, I want to keep it YouTube friendly, doing the, you know, the back and forth with your hand on the you-know-what, and, you know,
Yeah.
right, that thing.
I never got anything like that.
Yeah, I'm actually very
But I'm
happy
an
for you.
adult.
Right, I'm glad I'm glad you didn't get anything like that, because it's definitely scarring for sure, and I'm glad you didn't have to go through that stress
Imagine,
that we went
like,
through.
This is the thing that I don't understand is, why do people send nude pics and nude videos and stuff? Like, that to me seems to be an extreme breach of privacy. That's just something that I don't understand, especially with the whole sexting thing. Like, it's just, that kind of thing just ain't for me. And honestly, the thing that I especially don't get is him sending a shit pic to who he thought was an underage cupcake, let's just say. I have to try to sugarcoat things now because I heard YouTube is going after videos that talk about specific stuff like this. Well, I mean, they end up demonetizing it, but then again, you never know, so I don't want to risk it. Just because of that.
I teach junior high. I don't know how it would help put a girl back together after seeing that. I don't.
Right. Like,
those are the kids I work with every day.
It's really weird.
He is super confused. I don't think he even fully knows who he is outside of the persona he's built on this YouTube channel.
No, I don't think so either. Like, he would send us a video like that, just horrible video. And then, you know, an hour later he'd say, Sophie, I can't do this anymore. You know what I mean? And block us. And then next thing you know, the next morning, he's like, I'm sorry. Here I am again. You know what I mean? Like, something to that extent. And he would just go back and forth blocking us. And, you know, the day of that we were flying to LA to go get him and then, you know, drove to Bakersfield, I woke up in the morning and he was, the whole day yesterday, he was talking about how, I can't wait to see you. It's going to be great, blah, 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 blah. And then I wake up and he blocked us in the morning. Like, and I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. And then, you know, he ends up unblocking us and showing up, you know.
Jesus, I'm speechless at this point. I don't know what more to say here. This guy clearly cannot control not only his horniness, but his emotions as well. Is there really fixing somebody like this? Well, at this point, and now, no chance in hell. He's been long gone since he decided to keep repeating this behavior. And now, I feel more convinced that if somebody consistently blocks you and unblocks you, then it's pretty clear that they're fucking crazy and you should avoid them. Because clearly they got a lot going on. They probably don't know who the hell they are at this point. This obviously isn't funny. This is just fucking wild and baffling. He obviously needs professional help, but he's not gonna bother with that because he thinks he's too much of a hardhead for that kind of thing.
But the thing is, yeah, he's so unpredictable. But the thing is, like, you know, like you saw in the video, the thing stopping him wasn't, you know, a middle schooler. Like, he's like, what the frick am I doing with a middle schooler? The thing stopping him was he was so scared of what happened to him, like just now, like with the whole reputation and shit.
Yeah, honestly, it's not surprising knowing that these EDPs out there only care about their career and their hardships and the people that they've associated with to all crumble down because they know what they're doing is wrong. He's obviously just a real selfish bastard in this situation. It's not shocking.
And that's like the one thing that like made me kind of, one of the many things that kind of made me want to talk to you guys, because like the Bryant that I knew was a kind-hearted person, and if he cared about you, he would do anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
and I don't understand this side. I didn't see this side. I don't understand this side as much. I do, like, there was one point, and I'm trying to remember exactly what, but there was a turning point when he got mad and blew up. And if you watch his YouTube videos, you know when he gets a temper, he goes off.
Right.
There was one point that he went off on me, and it was all in a text. And I was down in LA with my nieces and nephews, taking them school shopping, and I had told him for weeks that I was going to do this, and he thought that day that me and him had plans, even though I've been telling him for weeks, and he blew up in text message because I wasn't answering him as I'm driving home or whatever I was doing, and I was like, that's the YouTube side, and I didn't ever want to see it.
So at that point, he's no more Mr. Bloody Nice Guy. He's finally unleashed the other side of his split personality, known as EDP. Only when it comes to online devices, not in real life, only online.
Jeez. Yeah, he's... And, you know, I've seen messages that he's had, too, where he's like, if anybody finds out about... And he even texted that to our decoy. He's like, if anybody finds out about this, it's gonna be bad. Like, he threatens, like, if something doesn't go his way, he turns really, you know, just, I don't know how to put it like that.
Okay.
Wow, EDP. So you really think you're a real badass, a real man, threatening cupcakes. Just, good God, dude.
I hate to say it this way, but I'm going to be downright honest in my feelings in this.
Mm-hmm.
He talks a good talk. I had no doubt in my mind that I could take him. He is not that strong. He is not a fighter. Like, it scares me now that he has the guns because he didn't have any of that when I was there. But, like, I was never really worried about that because I 100% feel if he came at me, I could take him down.
Well, you hear that. So it's confirmed that EDP isn't all tough as he proclaims to be, as he acts like, at least. His ex confirmed that she can manage to take him down one way or another, because we all know he ain't no fighter. That's why he's got a lot of those guns. That's why he's ordering a lot of guns in the first place.
One of those Q&As that we did back in the day, together,
Mm-hmm.
I was laughing because they always asked him, did you play football in high school? Did you play football in high school? I played more football than he did.
Mm-hmm.
God damn!
He talks all tough. I don't think he'd be able to fight. I really don't. I was never worried about my safety or anything because I just knew that if something went down, I could take him down.
Oh my God. Yeah, so has he ever...
But I didn't have to worry about that at all because he treated me well. In the end, it was just like I saw where his life was going and it wasn't in the same lines as mine.
Mm-hmm.
And it couldn't be a future. Like, it wasn't going to gel. And I tried to explain that to him in a couple different ways. And he did not understand what I was saying.
So it's just one ear and out the other. It doesn't compute to him until it's too late. That's just basically how it is for this guy.
So, like, he even says in the video where he's, like, going off on me that I need to have a backbone and I need to go and I need to tell people this is my boyfriend and this is what he does and you need to get used to it. Well, that came from, I was talking to him about, like, I have to be careful. I don't want people to know that I'm dating you because what you post on YouTube will affect my job. If one parent sees it, first of all, it's probably going to go through the whole school. Parents are going to call my principal, and then he's going to have to deal with that. So he's not going to be happy with me, which makes my job harder. It's going to get to the district office. My superintendent is going to know, and that affects my job. And my job has been my career for 10 years before I met him. Like,
Right.
Yeah. My job is my passion and it's my lot in life. I know that. And I would rather be single than give up my job because I know that God has me there for a reason.
Again, that's totally understandable because she's been doing that whole teaching thing for 10 years. I totally get it. And she doesn't want to give it up to somebody who doesn't lack any kind of reality within their thick skulls.
And so I was trying to explain that to him, and he's like, well, why don't we just make an appointment with your district superintendent and just sit down and say, hey, this is my boyfriend, this is what he does on YouTube, and some people aren't going to like it. And I was like, he has no sense of reality. That's not going to fly. No. And he got mad that I wouldn't set that up. That's like the whole, she's fine that she wouldn't talk to people. That's the kind of stuff that's going to get me fired, not make things better.
Jesus, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? How much level of dumb is he Could you imagine if I did something like that and I told somebody, hey, could you tell your boss that I'm the new Mombasa Police Department? Tell them to like and subscribe. Do you know how stupid that would be? Do you know how desperate I would look? And it's just, it has nothing to do with the job at hand. Like, it's nobody's business. And that's where I'm gonna call it quits for this interview audio reaction, because holy shit, there is a lot more to it than you think. Like, it's way long. It's up to 40 minutes long. I'm not gonna bother making a whole video over this interview, so I'll just snip it to another part at some point whenever I get the time to make another one of these. So that's definitely gonna do it. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the content. If you do, be sure to leave a like on what you think down below and subscribe for more. And yeah, that's about it. See you guys next time.